certain suspension of disbelief. His heightened sense of physical stature or physical ability, that's believable considering how he's drawn. But beyond that, the other two, yeah, not as believable. But really, yeah, that's one of the things that I'd have trouble arguing against, because that really is close to being a definable Gary-Stu set of traits, considering it far surpasses those of the other characters in the environment he's in. And that's the only reason why I'm saying it. If there were other characters similar to Alejandro that showed up, then it wouldn't be as unbelievable. But considering he's amongst the set of characters that there are, yeah. That's what leaves that one on such an iffy territory. Going beyond that, what I think could really be his saving grace as a character is that even though he comes across as Mr. Perfect, there are quite a few times when he's shown to have flaws of some sort. It's only kind of intimated at near the beginning of the series, but these increase as the series goes on. Not from just being slapstick gagged, like him running into a sewer pipe or something like that, but every time somebody calls him Al, there's a visible eye twitch going on there. He absolutely hates Owen, and he's not afraid to express that. But the one character that really seems to draw out his faults and traits that can make him seem more human would be Heather. You could say that one of his weaknesses is him having a crush on her. Because every time they interact, as the series went on, he seemed to be able, it was just a back and forth thing between them at first. But as soon as their rivalry really started heating up, especially around the episode where it's pretty much down to Sierra, Cody, Alejandro, and Heather, when it's really down to just that dynamic, in the one episode where they were digging up dinosaur bones, it really started hinting at what they were leading up to as character development when Heather made a certain comment and Alejandro pretty much snapped at her. It seemed like he was pretty easygoing around her at first. He was pretty much just back and forth flirting with her, but at that point, it really showed that he had a breaking point. That Owen wasn't the only one that could irritate him, that he could be irritated. He's not just completely easygoing or not able to, or unable to have certain things told to him. In other words, there were certain things that could get under his skin. And then from there, his character really started developing a bit more. Not that it didn't before that particular episode, but his character development was a bit harder to spot in episodes before that. I really think his character development really took a while to happen or take place in the season at all. The most character development really started when he was in the final four, down to the final three, and even in the final episode. But I'd have to say the most character development he underwent, what keeps me saying that he's a borderline instead of being a complete Gary-Stu, is what happened in the final episode. One quote in particular, when he expressed how irritated he was with Jose, when he expressed his hatred for his older brother Jose, that's when it really started piecing together. It sort of showed the viewer that his drive behind being as evil, deceptive, and manipulative and hard-working as he came across, in other words, what made him be the Mr. Perfect villain that he was, to some extent, had to do with the elusive character Jose. I found that pretty interesting. I kind of wish that this would have been introduced in one of the earlier episodes. It was kind of hinted at when people called him Al, but there really wasn't. You really didn't understand why he was irritated by that until he outright said that he hated being called Al because his older brother called him that. And I'd have to admit, beyond that, the only things that really pulled out Alejandro not being the Mr. Perfect villain kind of thing would be his development near the final episodes and his interaction throughout the series with Heather. Closer towards the end than near the beginning, though. And to be absolutely honest, speaking about this character in general, I don't think he deserved to get run over by lava. Kneed in the nuts, yes, but run over by lava, no. I was kind of hoping that he'd end up being beaten up by all the other characters. Maybe the girls would gang up on him and pretty much kick his butt. I was kind of hoping for something like what happened at the end of Total Drama Island when all the contestants threw Chris into the water. I was hoping for something similar like that with Alejandro. But that's really for a different video. I just thought I'd bring that up real quick here. But yeah, it's really closer to the end that makes me have the stance that I do about this particular character. And I think if he made an appearance in Season 5, he could probably get some serious character development and become closer to being a more realistic character. I mean, he's borderline right now, but that is fixable. I mean, looking at the character Heather, yeah, she was believable at first, but I'm going to get into that in next week's video. My final point is this. I believe that Alejandro is borderline Gary-Stu, but if he happened to appear in Season 5, there would be the chance that his character could be a bit more developed, that it could be expanded upon, and I'm guessing in Season 5 he's probably just going to be one of the people that stands in the background. Well, him being demoted to a minor character would probably do wonders for his character development overall, instead of being in the main spotlight. What really killed his character to some extent was how the season seemed to revolve around him and his evil plots, and really pointing with the big red arrow that this is the bad guy! This is the bad guy! That's really what killed his character. I'm guessing in Season 5, if he got demoted to a minor character, he probably wouldn't be popping up as much. And he might just get a bit more development. You might see him say a couple lines here and there, maybe actually do something for other players without asking for something in return. We'll see. I guess I've pretty much made my point here, or as close as I'm going to get. This is Eon, signing off. Bye.